The people who make these movies must really hate kids, because these kids get dead.
A-Town Movie Review. It's the A-Town Movie Review. It's the A-Town Movie Review. It's the A-Town Movie Review.
So as promised, I went to see It Chapter 2. I'm kind of lying when I say I saw it. Like, I was in the theater, I was sitting in the seat while the movie was playing, but you know, I was like this for 90% of the movie. I listened to it though. It sounded pretty good. No, seriously, I did watch the movie because, you know, when I went into it, I kept hearing like, oh, it's not as scary as the first one. They lied, it's just as scary. It was it was freaking me out. It's scary. So It Chapter 2 takes place 27 years after the events of the first film, and the kids, you know, they're all grown up, they're off living their own separate, successful lives, but then they find out that they have to go back to Derry because It isn't dead. So now they gotta go back, and they gotta jump It. First off, let me give a word of warning. This movie is long. It's so long. It's almost 3 hours long. And it is engaging enough where I'm not really thinking about the time, but I just wasn't prepared for it. I went to the theater at like 8:30 seeing it, thinking like, oh, this is gonna end at 10:30 because I don't look at the runtime beforehand, and it just kept going, and I was like, I got work tomorrow. Like, you really gotta plan out your day before watching this film. Even though this movie is really long, like I said earlier, it's still really engaging. And a big part of that is because of the cast. The cast that they picked to play the adult versions of the kids from the first movie is like near perfect. They look exactly like the kids do, but older. And like their personalities match exactly. And it's just so cool to see it on screen. I'm like, they're the same people, just bigger. And you can really see the chemistry between like the cast, because they have the same banter that the kids had in the first movie, and it's just so much fun to watch them. It's like, oh, we haven't seen each other in years, and you're still the same people. And they had star power too. They had James McAvoy, they had Jessica Chastain, they had Bill Hader, who's usually in comedies, but like he was awesome in this film. Super funny, really brightened up the mood. Like, perfect casting. Also, before I forget, you know the guy from the Old Spice commercials? He plays as the adult version of Mike Hanlon in this film. He's from the Old Spice commercials. Blew my mind. I also want to talk about Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Just like in the first film, does an incredible job. He is super creepy. Like, he is born to play this role. It was really awesome. You know, he does the weird eye thing. He kills children. All that great stuff. But what I really appreciate about this film, like, as I saw an improvement of, he had more speaking lines as Pennywise. He had more chances to be like super creepy and just talks to the adults and kids and, you know, trying to lure people in. Like, there was a lot more of that in this film. Really appreciated that. It's kind of like they heard my complaint and they're like, yeah, Alex, we'll fix it. This next part is a spoiler alert. If you've never seen the original It movie, never read the books, and absolutely don't know how the story of It ends, stop watching the video right here. I'll see you next week. If you're still here, hi. And one thing I didn't like about this movie is how it ends. It's just as far as like how they defeat It. Because in the book, they defeat It using this really complicated ritual that, even though I read it multiple times, I still can't just sit here and explain it to you because I don't know what happened. He was there and then he got killed, and I was like, okay. But in the movie, it starts going down the path like the book, like they mention the ritual, but then it doesn't work, so they do this other thing that's like so simple that it kind of just ruins the rest of the movie for me, because it's just like they go through all that trouble, all that trauma, and all they needed to do to kill It was this thing, and I was just like, it just kind of blew it for me. Overall, I will say I liked the first film a bit better, mostly because of the kids. The kids were super awesome in the first film. They were hilarious, and they were just great, and they made the whole movie for me. and I just had more fun watching that movie than this one. But this movie was still really good. It's a good sequel. I'm not like, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun watching this film also. If you're a horror movie fan, a fan of it, like, you should definitely go see it. Gets the job done. Super fun. Even though I hate horror films, I hate having to do this, it's still fun. I liked it. Go see it. This movie flies in and kicks butt like Captain Marvel. Well, that's all I have for my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That way you can keep updated on videos that I'll post every single Monday. And before you go, put down in the comments below, what is your favorite scary movie of 2019? Mine's it, Chapter 2. This was pretty good. Thank you so much again. I'll see you next week.